Your Majesty. King Graham?
Oh, yes, Minister,
Gervain, sire.
Of course. My apologies, Gervain.
Not necessary, Your Majesty. After all, I've been your security and defense minister for but a short while.
Yes. Where did you say you were from again?
Just some small, insignificant land to the far south. Pales greatly in comparison to your realm, my lord.
Ah, do you have something to report?
As a matter of fact, my liege, there's a small concern regarding the duty shifts of some of the castle guards and of the countryside patrols. Also, we are expecting our armed entourage from our nearest neighbor to return within the week. And there is the matter of an alliance with... My liege?
My apologies again, Minister Gervain. Please, continue.
Yes. As I was saying, there is the matter of an alliance with Hesperia. They've become a strong nation now, and it may be prudent to show our willingness to support them, lest they decide we are more of a hindrance than a help.
Does the king there have any daughters who've come of age?
I do not believe so, sire. As for the security arrangements for the royal ball held last week, I do believe the evening went by very smoothly. I dare say just about every princess in this region attended, and not one lost slipper, to coin a phrase.
Ugh, please, do not remind me.
Indeed, they were none too fetching. Would you like me to go over your plans for today, my lord? Very well.
Oh, forgive me once again. I am afraid that my mind wanders much these days. I wonder if my predecessor experienced times like these.
No doubt. Though I did not know King Edward the Benevolent personally, I understand he was a happy and astute man during his married life, before his wife passed away, that is. If I may be so bold, perhaps my lord is feeling that certain rooms in his castle are somewhat sparsely filled. The throne room, for example, and other rooms that serve but a single soul, like your dining room and your bed chambers.
Perhaps, but I do fear I've met no such candidates that would fill the rooms you have mentioned.
You should not lose heart, Your Majesty. If you pause to reflect for but a moment, you may see clearly what is hidden to others.
You gaze into the mirror. The minister's words seem to echo in your head. If you pause to reflect for but a moment. Not that you've been doing much else lately. For many weeks now, you've been reflecting over the direction your life has taken. While Daventry has prospered under your wise leadership, so far your existence has been a dreadfully lonely one. Wait, the mirror is changing. As you watch, you begin to see a series of images, though you struggle to fathom their meaning. You recognize the landscape. It is Kalima, a land not far from Daventry. You see the most beautiful woman you have ever set eyes upon. Somehow you can feel her sadness and her intense desire to leave that place. She is a prisoner in that tower.
Did you find what you were looking for, sire?
I require my ship ready for transport, Gervain. I shall be going on a trip presently.
Indeed. Where shall I tell the captain you'll be heading?
To Kolyma. I have to find someone.
I see. Well, if you must go, it is my duty to ensure that you leave prepared. Arm yourself, sire. I hear Kolyma is not the safe haven it once was.
Of course. I shall take the sword of the first king, as is my right.
A wise precaution, sire. And, if I may be so brash to ask, who might you be seeking?
If all goes well, my bride.
Father,
Sister Agatha,
how may I be of service?
an opportunity has arisen, sister. I trust you still have your captive held securely away.
Of course.
A bit cruel keeping her locked away like that, do you not think?
No. How dare she flaunt her beauty in front of all to see? Her foolish male admirers see her and forget that I was the most beautiful of all in my day.
And in your own special way, you are still beautiful.
You devil!
That is not an unfair description.
Now, you mentioned a service, I believe.
Yes, the King of Daventry has advised his faithful minister that he shall be departing for Kolyma presently. On a quest, you might say.
Really? What kind?
The kind that involves sticking his neck out to rescue a damsel in distress.
And what have I to do with his neck?
Put simply, my dear, sever it!
A day's journeying from Daventry has found you by the shores of Kolyma. Your ship, the Grand Thethor, and its crew have deposited you and will return the day after tomorrow. Hopefully, this will give you enough time to locate and release the imprisoned woman you saw in the magic mirror. A length of rope lies next to the crates at the end of the pier. Your vessel has safely transported you from your homeland of Daventry, finally depositing you on this pier in the land of Kolyma. As you watch the flagship of your fleet depart with pride, you also sense anxiety building within you. Once it is gone, you will be quite alone in this country. You went to see what you could see. Now all you see is sea. The crates do not interest you. Besides, they are not yours to take. The rope is old, worn, and weathered. It would be of no use to you. It's too late to change your mind about this whole quest. Your ship is leaving. Bon voyage! The sand from the beach glitters. The azure water of the ocean laps up to its edge. One of the pickets has fallen loose from the rickety fence. A picket fence extends onto the beach a short way. The fallen picket feels reasonably sturdy and is pointed at one end. Believing that you may find a use for it, you retrieve it and carry it with you. This is the sword of the first king of Daventry. It dates back almost 1,000 years and has been passed down from king to king since that time. Try not to damage it. A magnificent clear crystal is embedded within its hilt. You feel the weight of your ancient weapon. It's amazingly light and cool to the touch. It may be just your imagination, but you think you can feel something radiating from it, like the presence of the many kings who have held it throughout the long centuries before you. It appears to be an ordinary fence picket. Its pointed end reminds you of a stake. It's as sharp as a stake on one end. You consider following the ancient war tradition of falling on your sword to ensure that your death is honorable. Then you remember that you're not currently in a war. Please type a longer. The sand. There is a large rock in the ocean a short way from shore. Small waves lap at the edges. A leafy green. A group of rocks jut out of the ground. Their pointed shapes discourage their use as a place to sit. You notice a log lying on the beach. You look under the log and discover a clam lying beneath it. You pick it up. This is just an ordinary clam shell. There doesn't seem to be anything special about it. You open the clam and discover, to your surprise, a dazzling pearl. The pearl rolls precariously in the palm of your hand. The shiny, beautiful pearl seems to radiate a soft glow. The sand from the beach glitters. You notice a log. There's nothing else under the log. Two small rocks lie on the ground in this area of the swamp. While you seem to be having a lot to do with stones in this adventure, these particular two will not be of any help. It is too heavy to move or carry around with you, and climbing onto it would not be productive. You feel the poisonous water seeping into your skin. Its potency takes effect immediately, and you perish within seconds. There's nothing Many flowers beautify this area. You see a little girl wandering around the meadow. She wears a ruby red cloak and appears to be searching for something.
Hello, who are you?
My name is Graham. What is yours?
Possum. That is what my grandma calls me. She is not at all well these days. I was collecting flowers for her, but now I cannot anymore.
Why is that?
My basket is missing. I've looked everywhere for it. It must be around here somewhere.
I will keep my eye out for it.
Thank you, Graham.
You can't see a thing past the cave entrance. Judging from the smell wafting out of it, you're not sure that you want to. Unless you are mistaken, the symbol above the cave entrance bears a striking similarity to a bat. A shiver runs down your spine as you look at it. It's almost as if some dark force were radiating from it. It is a human skull with a radiant blue stone wedged into its eye socket. It is a human skull with large eye sockets. As you have no desire to risk certain death by venturing into the cave, you have no reason to manipulate anything in or around it. As you have As you near the cave, the bat symbol above the entrance starts radiating an ominous black glow. Unless you are mistaken, you saw black glow, you did not slow, turned not away, you've had your day.
Hello in there!
Do you think that was such a good idea, Graham? Guess not. Haven't you learnt to knock first? Oh, wait, you can't knock on thin air. Well, that should have been your first clue. As you near the cave, the bat symbol above A smattering of rocks lies at the rear of the cave. A log lies on the ground, apparently forgotten by whoever cut it from the nearby stump. A tree, now not much more than a stump, has presumably been reduced to its present size by a woodcutter. You look under the log, but find nothing. It was a good idea, though. As it is heavier, denser, and larger than yourself, trying to move it would not be such a clever thing to do. You are past picking up rocks. Besides, there is no treasure-hoarding giant in these parts. You have run into an evil enchanter. Get out of here fast before he turns you into something. The small pond is a beautiful feature in this part of the forest. You imagine a variety of bird life would find this a very suitable place to travel for the breeding season. This is the northwest corner of Weirwood Forest. Passage to the south is blocked by a plethora of large bushes and plants. To the west, you see the rear of some sort of cave. To the far west, you notice a path running north. A beautiful, majestic white swan gracefully glides across the lake. This pumpkin is somewhat larger than the others in the patch. A patch of orange, healthy-looking pumpkins is growing in this secluded little area of the forest. You are traveling through Weirwood Forest. This area is quite pleasant and relaxing during the daytime. To the west, you can see where the forest ends and the meadows begin. The way east is blocked by heavy foliage and trees. You know that pumpkins can't talk. You look for a nice, large pumpkin to take from the patch.
Hey, watch it!
Oh, sorry. I was not aware you could talk.
Likewise. Anyway, be careful where you're treading. You're spoiling the good soil by standing so close. And I got 8 kids to feed.
You glance at the smaller pumpkins. These must be her children.
I only count 7.
Yeah, well, I had 8. Then some strange man who spoke even stranger came by. He claimed to be a horticle. Claimed to know a bit about plants. I let him take a look at my little darlings. Anyway, before I knew it, he'd gone and pinched one of my babies. Took off towards the town, he did. Of all the naive. Just because we're plants doesn't mean we don't deserve any respect.
I am sure that is true. Pardon me for asking, but how did you come by the ability to talk?
With a question like that, I might ask you the same.
I was only...
Don't take it personal. That old witch Agatha cast a spell on me so I could guide her precious possessions.
Hagatha?
Yeah, she's the old bag who lives in that cave to the west. You know her type. Green warts, pointed ears, cannibalistic, doesn't put her trash out. Just your stereotypical evil old crown.
She sounds pleasant. You mentioned something about guarding Hagatha's precious possessions.
At least, what she considers precious. I reckon they're anything but. Mind you, I have my doubts about Hagatha's legitimate ownership of this stuff, if you know what I mean.
What sorts of items does Hagatha wish you to guard?
Oh, the usual vanities. All useless in my opinion. But what would I know?
The mother pumpkin looks distressed. You decide not to interrupt her at the moment. What is this? There's a door built into the trunk of a large tree. It appears to be closed. You are in the middle of the forest. A path lies a short way to the west, and a large tree with an inset door dominates the area. You rap on the treehouse door and wait a moment, but get no response. You rap on the It is high, vertical, and there are no footholds. Do you still think you can climb it? You have come upon a quick little dwarf. Dwarves have a bad reputation for stealing treasure. Be careful. This large fallen log is all that remains of a once grand tree. You peer into the log but see nothing of interest. You peer This large fallen log is all that remains of this. You peer into the depths of the dark hole. As luck would have it, you discover a beautiful set of earrings hidden inside. Each one is laced with glittering diamonds and contains a lovely blue sapphire stone in the center. Perhaps someone stashed them here. At any rate, you take them into your possession. The earrings were made for more delicate ears than yours. The diamond and sapphire earrings are very delicate. Each earring has a large sapphire surrounded by glittering diamonds. Lo and behold, sitting on the rocks is the little girl's missing basket. You take the basket. The yellow flowers smell awful. The basket has been woven from wicker and straw. It is very well crafted. The basket is filled with yellow flowers. You handle the earrings, noting that doesn't need to go into a basket. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. Nothing. That doesn't. A small cottage sits peacefully to the north. This log has already revealed its only secret to you. It is a mailbox. This is the first time you have ever set eyes upon one, which isn't surprising. The postal system won't be invented for another few centuries to come. The residents of this land must either possess clairvoyance or just simply be ahead of their time. You open the mailbox. Inside there is, incredibly, a letter addressed to the resident. You decide to leave it in there. A card has been dropped in it also. You read it. You replace the card and close the mailbox. You attempt to open the door but find it is locked. You think you can hear the sound of labored breathing inside and decide against causing any further disturbance. You consider calling out to the house's occupant through the door, but then realized that doing so would be uncharacteristically rude. Many flowers beautify this area. A large lemon tree grows by the path. The lemons on the ground are spoiled. You would do best to pick a fresh one from the nearby tree. You reach out and pluck a large, juicy-looking lemon from the tree. Yuck! You don't want to bite into the lemon. You squeeze the lemon. It is a lemon. Its juice has a bitter taste. That doesn't need to go. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. You cut the lemon with your sword and watch the juice run out. Nothing. 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 Skewering the basket might not accomplish a great deal. Nothing. Nothing. That does nothing. Nothing. That. Nothing. That. Nothing. Nothing. There is an enormous rock mound nearby. Vines and creepers run down it and twist through the cracks and crevices. Beneath the mound are some smaller stones. You try to lift the stone, but it will not budge. You try to lift the stone, but it will not budge. You try to lift the stone, but it will not budge. You try to lift the stone, but it will not budge. You try to lift the stone, but it will not budge. You try to lift the stone, but it will not budge. The sign reads, Town. One of the trees here seems to be growing around some rocks. There is a sizable hole in one of the trees. It would be fun to climb the trees for a while, but you have better things to do. When you peer into the hole of the pine tree, you see a mallet lying there. You pick it up and take it with you. Your head would function much better in its current configuration. You have no reason. Those items can be used together, but on what is the question? A squashed lemon would be just another useless thing to carry around. You would not want to. The head of the mallet is made of iron. It has a long wooden handle. It is heavy. The sign reads, Kalima. It is likely that this haystack was piled here by farmers from the town. A faded blue sheet has been tightly stretched across it to prevent the straw from blowing away in the wind.
Hey!
What? Who said that?
I did!
Huh?
I'm down here, in the hay!
Oh. Well, who are you?
My name is,
Yes?
I can't seem to remember.
Well then, what are you?
Oh, I'm
Yes?
Can't seem to remember that either.
Well, what are you doing in this haystack?
That's easy. I was looking for,
You can't remember.
no. Sorry.
How long have you been in there?
Let's see. It couldn't be longer than,
Yes?
3, maybe 4 weeks?
Weeks?
Yup.
Pardon me for saying, but you sound as if you have a bit of a cold.
Yes. It's all this hay. It's giving me hay fever.
Maybe you should do something to help the occupant first. After all, you don't want to get sneezed on while searching the haystack. The haystack, or rather whoever or whatever is inside it, is no longer responsive to your inquiries. You see a man bending over the fountain. He appears to be trying to retrieve something from it.
Aha! Got him!
You have entered the town of Kalima. What a charming place. Residents, farmers, and merchants make their way to and fro along the paths. A statue has been erected here, and many stores line the road to the east and north. 2 buildings in particular catch your attention: the antique shop and the town library. A tall statue of a man stands prominently at the entrance of town. It looks to have been placed here quite a number of years ago. The statue bears a plaque which reads, Count Kaldor, ruler and protector of Kalima. A townsperson wanders the street. The people of Kalima lead busy lives. They have no time for idle chit-chat. It's just a statue. A tall statue of a man stands prominently at the entrance of town. It looks to have been placed here quite a... The statue is unmovable. Besides, the townsfolk would be none too pleased if you damage or disrespect it. Crystal clear water sparkles in the fountain. A few valueless pennies lie at the bottom that the merchant didn't bother taking. As refreshing as this fountain looks, you really don't want to drink water that the merchant has been fishing around in with his bare hands. The antique shop is located close to the town's entrance, a very wise move by the owner. The sign reads, Kalima Library. The town library of Kalima looks to be about as old as that statue, perhaps 40 or 50 years. It stands taller than most of the constructions of this town, which might indicate that the residents hold it in high regard. A small residential building stands next to the library. There appears to be a sign on the door, but you need to get closer to read it. The door is plain and has a mail slot. It also has a sign posted on it. You read it. You also notice something sticking out from under the door. You are unable to retrieve anything from there. You can't quite get your fingers on whatever is visible under the door. Making sure that no one is watching, you slide your thin blade under the door and draw out what appears to be a letter. It is a letter addressed to the resident of the town. You open the letter and read it. Dear applicant, please find enclosed the library membership card to which you are now entitled. The 5-year application process has concluded, and we are pleased to inform you that your status as a member of the town library is confirmed. Welcome to an exclusive group of patrons. Yours sincerely, Town Librarian. P.S. Please sign your name on the card to ensure validation. You slide your fingers along the edge of the card, narrowly avoiding a cut. You attempt to sign the card with your finger. No luck. Nothing happens. Nothing. The door to the library is closed, but not locked. Piles upon piles of unstacked books lay scattered around the library. It is a simple quill standing in its ink pot.
What are you doing?
I was just...
Don't! What are you doing?
I was just...
Don't!
Will you accept this?
No,
Why not?
it has not been signed. May I help you?
Yes, I was hoping to enrich my knowledge of this fair land by way of perusing your historical texts.
My, that was well put.
No.
Not terribly effective, though.
Pardon me, perhaps I was not clear?
You were.
Then may I?
No.
Why can't I?
You are not a member.
Well then, can I become a member?
No.
Why can I not become a member?
We already have far too many members. It's difficult to keep track of everything.
How many members are there?
2.
If I may inquire, who are your 2 members?
You may not. Neither the Count of Kalima nor that elderly gentleman who lives next door would approve of my divulging that information to you.
Ah, thank you anyway. You mentioned that the Count of Kalima is a member of this library.
Yes.
Have you seen him recently?
The librarian looks at you strangely.
No.
Is there any way I might meet the Count?
Yes.
How?
Die.
I would have to die to meet the Count?
Depends.
On what?
Your importance.
And if I am important?
Then you might be fortunate enough to be buried on his estate.
Who is buried on the Count's estate?
Counts.
Aha. Past Counts, of course. Anyone else?
Yes.
Who?
Him.
Pardon? Do you mean the Count is dead?
The librarian decides to avoid your gaze and seems disinclined to speak further with you on the subject. The librarian seems disinclined to speak further with you. You glance at the titles on this shelf, revealing the truth about seeing unicorns and something about oneself in the process. Futures History, the true story of Space Quest 12. Gullible's Travels. A guide to bushranging, safety tips on robbery while wearing a metal box on your head. The Theory of Relativity, and other half-baked crackpot ideas. You glance at the titles on this shelf. Remember the Triton, an autobiography from the ruler of the Mer people. Icebergs and Unsinkable Ships. The Legends of Weirwood Forest. Trolls and Bridges, an Obsession Explained. Guidebook to the Land of Tamir. A Tale of the Flanneled One. Livin' La Vida Loca. How Not to Turn a Novel into a Film. See Dune. Curses and Counter Curses, and How Not to Get Them Confused. 101 Things to Do When You Are Lonely. You are not even going to touch this one. You glance at the titles on this shelf. Chronicles of the Brady Bunch. Interesting, this book has a warning label. Prolonged exposure may cause irreparable damage to your perception of reality. A Traveler's Guide to Ludor. You skim through the book. It describes a small town which serves as a port of call for passing ships. Apparently, it is under the jurisdiction of a wizard who is not at all popular with the locals. Selling your wares without selling yourself. The Art of Being a Lowly Merchant and Feeling Proud of It. A later chapter entitled The Serious Business of Talking Funny details how to adopt a foreign accent and use fragmented grammar to convince the same gullible buyer that you are not just some ordinary con artist trying to make a quick gold. Eusperia, the many that became one. This book tells of how, over time, the realm of Eusperia ceased to be a multitude of feuding regions and became a united kingdom. Once unable to defend itself, even as a whole, it now has a large standing army. The present lord of the realm is said to be kind, generous, and wise. The Art of Becoming a Portcullis to Portcullis Salesman. Arrival of the Ancients. Were their origins of this world? That seems like a silly title. Where else would they have come from? The stars? Let's get physical. With what, you wonder? Melodies for Minstrels. Chronicling the Longest Journey. Or How to Sustain a Compelling Story When Your Lead Character Sounds Like an Airhead. Modern Inventions Monthly. This month's edition focuses on an essay entitled Reinventing the Wheel. Ooga Booga Land and Other Undesirable Travel Destinations. Magic for the Layman. All you need is a good book. Shrimps and Barbecues. An Inexplicable Connection. The Carpenter's Handbook. Dragon Slaying for Dummies. Carnivorous Plants. When and what to feed them without arousing suspicion. It is written by a man named Seymour Krelborn. The Big Book of British Smiles. Dwarves are from Mars, elves are from Venus. Cooking tips for singles. While you are single and you can't cook, you still have no need of this book. At least, not with the entire kitchen staff at your disposal back home. Chronicles of the Brady Bunch. Interesting, this book has... Even Rotten Tomatoes deserve a little respect. Remember the Triton. The Taming of the Shrew. Jousting and other party games. The Beginner's Guide to Buying Your First Horse. Drunks and Monks, How to Tell Them Apart. Quest for Glory, A Hero's Death. Icebergs and Unsinkable Ships. A Traveler's Guide You Skim. The Legends of Weirwood Forest. Selling your wares without selling yourself. Mildly curious, you open the book. The first chapter is entitled, The Truth of Falsity. It begins to describe how to make a totally worthless item seem like a must-have for the gullible buyer. A later chapter entitled, The Serious Business of Talking Funny. Trolls and Bridges. 10 Easy Steps to Owning Your Own Castle. Revealing the Truth About Futures History. You would not know where to start. Perhaps the librarian could be of help here. The librarian. A large grandfather clock sits against the wall. It seems to keep good time. The clock indicates that it is morning. You have no desire to stop the clock. You're kidding, right? Not even Mary Poppins could clean this mess up. Perhaps you should leave locating books to the librarian. Perhaps. There is a small assemblage of farmers having a discussion nearby. The farmers are deep in conversation. You think it best not to interrupt them with idle chit-chat. Crystal clear water. A tall... The door is locked. A sign next to it reads, Open from noon till sunset. The sun's position in the sky indicates that it is currently morning. The owner must not be an early riser. A small pumpkin sits in a bowl nearby. You say a few words to the small pumpkin. To your astonishment, it replies,
No. Sorry.
Talking to yourself.
Greetings, merchant.
To you, good day. Mama! Shh! A visitor arrived new, no? A sense I possess for these things. Need you have for my wares of great specialty?
Perhaps. But first, I'm curious. Where did you come by such a pumpkin?
Is quite keen, nephew. Indeed, a specimen unique it is.
Be quiet.
The gift of speech among plants so rare, yes?
Quite so. Are you planning to sell it?
Sell? Never would I sell such a thing as this.
It'll make me incredibly rich.
I mean, entrusted it was to my care. Watch over it, I must.
Mama! Take me back to my mama!
Forget it. I'm not taking you back to that patch. So pipe down.
Pardon?
Of importance I speak not. Trouble to your ears I meant none.
Mama?
No. Sorry.
You consider confronting the merchant about the theft of the pumpkin, but as a stranger in town, you don't want to cause a scene. Perhaps a more subtle approach is in order. You can't just pick it up while the merchant is watching.